CommUniverCity, I think, is one of the first times I have ever heard of so many disparate components of people coming together. Usually it's the city here, the school is its own environment, and then the people just kind of wander around aimlessly. Whereas CommUniverCity is a cohesive way of getting all these strengths together in one room.
CommUniverCity represents the coming together of San Jose State University, the City of San Jose, the Five Wounds Brookwood Terrace community, and a number of community-based nonprofit organizations to invest their very unique talents and resources, knowledge, and skills to the benefit of the main interest of a local community.
The projects that we're going to be participating in aren't because some class at San Jose State needs to have that project done for their coursework. It's not because the city has some motivation that they need to. It's because it's something we've identified that's broken in our community or absent.
Today we're at the McKinley Community Center, and the class, the Urban Planning 201 class, is presenting the results of the work they've done throughout the fall semester. So this semester the students have been walking throughout the neighborhood, they've been talking to community leaders, they've been interviewing members of community organizations, they've been reviewing plans, they've been talking to city staff, and they've been generally trying to understand what has been completed in the past 3 years in the Five Wounds neighborhood, Five Wounds Brookwood Terrace neighborhood, and with the understanding that they like to know what needs to be done next based on what has happened in the past 3 years. What does the community want to focus on during the next 5 years?
We came up with 11 themes that the community felt either very passionately about or they needed to address, and we decided to break up the 11 themes into 3 major categories: education, the neighborhood environment itself, and health.
Después de analizar los documentos y las respuestas comunitarias, desarrollamos 11 temas, cuales reflejan problemas y necesidades en el vecindario y fueron identificados por miembros de la comunidad.
Happening today is the students are sharing the research that they've done in collaboration with the community. And it's the first time that the community is beginning to have a chance to see and reflect on the work that they've done really over the last 5 years. And so we see this as the opening, if you will, of a conversation with the community. And this will open up into a larger conversation about celebration of victories, priorities that are coming next, and where they want to take their struggle.
That made me think of this area too, like Julian right in here, and it's even worse than Santa Clara Street. It's really wide, it's barren. Yeah, it could really use a median strip or more trees or anything.
A major issue not only for the residents but also for along the Santa Clara Street, all the commercial outlets.
Ella estuvo en el hospital muchos meses. Afortunadamente ahorita puede ella caminar con un andador.
One of our thoughts was that there's a lack of short-term projects. Most of the projects that we see with CommUniverCity and with the neighborhood development are long-term.
The role that the students play is twofold. One is to bring their technical expertise to bear and to create a space for the community to have a conversation. And the second is really to bring their excitement and enthusiasm.
I thought the class was great. It really gives you a first-hand experience of the community planning process and what agencies like the San Jose Redevelopment Agency does every day with working with the community. And it's something I think that I can take from school, and when I'm a planner someday immediately use those skills that I've learned.
Unlike the first impression where people thought, oh, well, these young whippersnappers are going to come in and tell us what to do, we found that they were a passionate, committed group of kids who were willing to volunteer their time and services. And I think for the most part, they're seen as a valuable resource.
Hi, Edith. How are you?
Good.
Yeah? What grade are you in?
I'm
good. You're in 5th grade? You're going to be in 6th grade next year. Did you know that? You're going to middle school. You excited about that? Do you know where you're going to middle school? Where are you going?
Hoover.
You're going to Hoover. So are you excited? What's your favorite subject in school?
Math.
Another math one. What do you like about math?
Dividing and using numbers and stuff.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Have you ever thought about going to college?
Yeah.
Yeah. Our class is called Education Counseling 280. It's multicultural counseling. And we're part of a service learning project that Dr. Oliver sets up, where she has us go out to various schools in the community and do outreach. And our topic was to promote going to college, a college-going environment.
We're here from San Jose State, and we're here to talk to parents and to students. Kelsey, about some guidelines that could maybe help in the future. We're starting here at 6th grade to talk about it. I know you may have some questions. This is a great guide also, and asking certain informational questions that Kelsey might want to also ask herself about what she wants to do in the future, and then guidelines in which she can get on track so in high school she'll be able to be ready for college.
Many of these students, our students specifically here at Ann Darling, haven't seen or don't really know what a college student is. And to hear when they talk to the students and find out what's required of them or what they do at college. I know they did ask, that was some of the questions that the students asked at college night. Well, what do you do when you're at college? What does it mean to go to college? Do you live on campus? Those kind of things. So it allows our students to see a different view of the community.
I think that a lot of parents that we're running into this evening, one of the problems is that they didn't have the opportunity to go on and go to college and more or less even finish high school. So trying to reach those parents on a level of getting them to talk to their kids about it, they may feel like they're not informed about the subject and feel maybe intimidated.
We just came back from City College because we visited the campus and checked it out.
Oh, you did?
And we're getting Mom ready for college too.
Or are you going to college yourself?
Yes.
Oh, do you think you're going to college as a role model for your child?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm doing. Role model for the kids and a better future for all of us.
CommUniverCity is important because we do some of the things that the city can't do on its own, and some of the things that the community can't do on their own, and some of the things that the university can't do on their own. And there's a certain amount of brain power that the community and the university and the city can all put together and make the neighborhood and the city in general a better place. There's that aggregate learning experience, the experience of real living in the neighborhood, the experience from the community and theory, and then the ability of the city to actually contribute things as well. It makes it that much more of an enriching experience for the students, as well as making it an empowerment experience for the community and a better place for everyone to live, work, and play.
Starting to fizz a little bit. Can you see it bubbling? Yeah. All right, let's see if the detergent does anything. Is it changing colors? What else is it doing?
This is a service learning project for my students in my non-science chemistry class. And what I wanted to do is to get science out into the community and for the students at the schools to benefit from learning inquiry-based science and have fun.
I think it's really cool to show 4th and 5th graders how to do science experiments. They don't get this every day, and to be able to show them some of the stuff that we do in college level chemistry is really exciting.
We're trying to put the weight at the same balance.
So let's put it right here on the X. Make sure it's right on the X. Okay, good. And then put the other one right on the X. And we found out that it balanced.
It feels like balancing.
It's pretty close. Even though they look different, right? They look like they can be completely different things. But why do they weigh the same? It's kind of cool. I think it represents really what San Jose State's doing in general. We're kind of taking our knowledge and really going into the community and sharing it with everyone else.
The kids are getting out of it opportunities to explore chemistry and to look at physical changes, chemical changes, and everyday household materials so they can relate it to their own lives. And my students are getting the incredible skills of being able to know that they can teach chemistry, that they know chemistry, and that they in turn will be able to take this experience and be a really positive part of their experience at San Jose State.
I mean, the wood was heavy. Look how heavy it was. It was heavier than the pebble. And it floated. And why did it float? You remember?
Because if it's heavy, you could see if it's like heavy, and if you put it in water, it'll maybe float. But if it's not, it'll sink.
The unfortunate fact is a lot of these kids don't get to learn about science on a daily basis, and they are tested on it at the end of the year. So what we're trying to do is trying to come out here, show them that science can be fun, which it is definitely fun, and try to interest them a little bit on the subject, because a lot of kids just don't know a lot about science, and some of them kind of don't appreciate it as much as they should.
Prevenir violencia doméstica. I'm here to provide domestic violence information in Spanish for anyone coming and looking for information.
The phrase right here translates to người đàn bà mà bị đánh đập đó, đừng có lo, có người giúp. So that means that, you know, if you're being battered or experiencing any type of domestic violence at home, there are things that we can do to help you.
Anyways, what are you guys doing? I mean, what's this all about?
We're peer educators for the San Jose State University, and so we're here just kind of making people aware of the domestic violence workshops that we offer. We're in a class that we learn about domestic violence and the things that are out there for people that are victims of domestic violence.
Where can I go, or can you tell me more about the Next Door Solutions? Because I do know that they do have that Home Safe program.
Well, yeah, like we have the number here, and we actually put together a flyer of all the different. I think so many people aren't aware of all the resources that there are out there. There's so many people that are, you know, wanting to help.
A situation where you get taught that information in class, but you actually get to use it out in the real world experience where you're not just reading academic material that doesn't relate to the real world experience, where this is touching real lives.
What we're going to do today is we're going to be walking in this, if you guys want to come closer and take a look, this is the 5 wounds area that's, you know, your other classmates have been mapping. And today we're mapping this little section, which is 20. Basically what we're going to do, we're going to take these walkability charts and we're going to hit every block in this section from start of one street to end of one street. And we're going to fill it out as we walk along, and we're also going to be taking pictures of some protective factors and risk factors. Like, let's say if you had a sidewalk that's cracked really badly, or storm drains that are clogged like this right here, or just speeding cars, no crosswalks and stuff like that. And like if it's, you know, if the streets are not accessible or the sidewalks are not accessible by a wheelchair and stuff like that.
Yeah, the leaves shouldn't be on the sidewalk. That's what it should be, more on the street, so people can access the sidewalk and walk on it.
Also the same area, we have the big garbage can over there. If it's not garbage day, which I don't think it is because no one else has their garbage cans out, they should leave it on their property so it's not in the way of people walking if they need to get by. I like community mapping work because as students we get to go outside and interact with the public. We're not just sitting in the classroom learning from the books, we're actually outside walking around and learning like first-hand experience.
Is there any broken or cracked sidewalk?
Yeah, there was some back there.
Okay. Sidewalks were blocked with power poles, signs, and dumpster?
Yeah. Okay, there's a big piece of glass in the sidewalk right here.
Okay.
And behind you there's a fire hydrant, which could be a protective factor.
Okay.
We're actually going to put it into like a database, and we're actually going to present it to the city. And the city's actually going to use it and, you know, take into consideration some of our recommendations and actually go out into the neighborhoods and make some improvements.
The role of the city and CommUniverCity is to make sure that all of the work that the students do connects with the longer-term community development of the neighborhoods.
I want to see something that is visible, that I can see it, that I can touch it, that I can sit on maybe. And so basically I want to see results. And it doesn't have to be something big, but little goals, one at a time. But I want to be able to see that this is working. That's going to show me that the efforts that CommUniverCity is doing are paying out.
Perhaps the primary challenge I anticipate in CommUniverCity is the need to make sure that all of our efforts align very closely with what the community wants to see happening, with the true and real interest of the community. So the main challenge is going to be, for instance, in making sure that faculty interests are also matched very closely with community interests.
There have been a lot of little trials. People
zoom in and they're going to solve all of our problems, and being rather naive, you know, we go, we participate, we have hopes, and then their project is over and they're gone, and we're like, wait a minute, we haven't hardly gotten started. So there's a little history of that because we're close to the university and we're in the downtown and we have been a troubled neighborhood for some time. It's a nice like lab, but we don't see it as a lab, we see it as our home.
We need to prove over time that we're here for the long run. I think that particularly since the neighborhood we're working with is very close to the university, there have been students in and out and promises made, and sometimes we're really able to fulfill those promises, but sometimes our expectations exceed what we're actually able to do. So I think one of the things that we need to be real careful about is that we're very clear about what we're really able to do.
It really needs to be long-term and a long-term vision, and it takes time for the projects and the difference to actually be made. And if people aren't truly committed to it and aren't willing to stay in it for a few years, the progress can't be recorded and you can't actually see the change being made. So people have to think of it more as a marriage as opposed to just a simple little partnership that happens and it's a one-project deal. People who are truly impassioned need to be able to come back and continue their work in the neighborhood.
Well, good morning, CommUniverCity San Jose, and welcome everybody to the National Global Youth Service Day. I'm proud that San Jose State University is a leading partner in the CommUniverCity project in this day of service.
A California driver's license or ID, this is a new requirement for voter registration, or a relatively new one, so make sure that goes in. Box number 8 is telephone and email address. These are optional. There are 2 classes here today. One is political participation taught by Melinda Jackson. So they're studying things like civic engagement and voting behavior. And then most of the students are from my local politics class, so they've been looking at local campaigns and elections and so on. There are 9 teams going out to shopping centers and supermarkets and Walgreens, the Food Bowl, Colorado, places like that. So we try to put a Spanish speaker in most of those teams. And then there are 5 teams that are going to be going door to door in the neighborhoods. And as I told the students when we were briefing, if they register 100 voters today, that will be huge. And that will increase voter registration in these neighborhoods by 2.5%.
Are you registered to vote? No, not yet. Well, come on and register. Okay. Just fill out the form right here. If you have any questions, just go ahead and ask me.
Tiếng Việt Nam á?
Tiếng Việt Nam là loạt đó.
Loạt hả?
Dạ.
Giống như học loạt phải không á?
Loạt.
Dạ. Địa chỉ bác là cái gì?
1154. 1154.
I think it's important because everybody needs to voice their opinion. People can't complain about a vote or something that they don't really like. You know, if they don't give their opinion out, they have no right to. So I figured, you know, if you have something to say it in a vote, sign up, give your opinion, because opinions are important and they need to be heard everywhere. San Jose. Dạ, đúng rồi.
San Jose.
Yeah, San Jose, Cali. Zip code đây. The challenge to register people that, for those that, you know, English isn't their first language, it's a challenge because they're really scared. They'd rather hang out in their own group and community, so they feel safe there. And to get people to vote and give an opinion, they're really insecure about giving an opinion. So, you know, being multilingual, I speak Vietnamese, German, and English, so I think it's really helpful. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need one more, guys, so we can have 10 even.
We're painting houses. We had to just tape off all the windows and the trim that's going around the houses, and just painting them off for the lady that lives here. I like helping out other people, and I would like it if I were in need of something, that someone would come and help me just out of the goodness of their own heart.
Gracias a todos. No sé con quién empezar, pero en especial los que andan trabajando.
I'm a resident of this area, and I'm very thankful to you that you volunteered your time and that you have that passion to be here and volunteer and make the community better. So I thank you very much in my name and the name of the residents of this neighborhood. And what I take away from this day as a resident is that I've seen the community at work. That's important to me. I've received a lot of information from the different presentations that were given throughout the day. And I understand a lot more now the resources that this community can have or will have in the years in the future. So that's important to me. And also, it's given me an opportunity to think about what can I do as a resident to better the neighborhood in which I live.
I guess from the day-to-day thing, what I'm looking for the most is that it's almost like a small town within a big city where we know each other, we look after each other, and we've kind of made a commitment to have this be a safe and enjoyable place to live.
What I'd like to see happen is that by the time we finish across a 5-year period, we will have qualitative and quantitative data to show, number one, that we've made a difference in a community. And number two, that the students who participated gained in terms of their academic knowledge and their sense of self as a member of an engaged community.
I'd like to see this program replicated, not just, well, starting at San Jose State, I'd like us to have 6 CommUniverCity projects going on with 100 faculty and 1,000, 2,000 students involved. But I hope other universities will pick up on it.